live from Sanford, Florida, at historic Sanford Memorial Stadium for Game 4 of 4, Day 2 of 5 for the Florida League High School Invitational Classic Tournament in the year of 2026. My name is Conrad Volch. It's been a fun day of bringing you some baseball action. Got one more game here between Flagler Palm Coast and IMG Silver, and a first pitch single to start the game. Leading us off was Kai Carreras. IMG took down Seminole 17-1 in their last game. They're one of two teams to have double headers here at Sanford Memorial. Second batter is number 11 of Will Zyblock. On the other side for Flagler Palm Coast is Reggie Bass, who is on the mound. Bass comes into this game. This is his 7th game he has played in. Correction, 6th appearance he's been in. He's 4-1 as a starter this year with .296 ERA. Has a 2 balls, no strikes. We're the current batter of Zyblock. Zyblock had a 2-run RBI double in the last game against Seminole, as that is sent into the air in foul territory, making it 2 balls, 1 strike. Flagler Palm Coast comes into today's game 7-5 on the season. Last game was 4 days ago against Lake Minneola. They fell 2-1. Their last win was against Matanzas on March 12th, and they won 10-0. Started the season 5-0, currently 7-5. Last year it was 10. They finished 10-17. So 2-2 count for Zyblock. And Bass checks the runner back at first, trying to keep him over that direction and not moving any closer. That drops in for strike 3. So strikeout looking for Zyblock as this brings Zon French to bat. Starting pitcher last game will just be listed as a designated hitter. A couple score updates. The Lyman High School games, Western beat Apopka 8-1, and Lyman beat Dr. Phillips 1-0. Pines Charter and Lake Howell should be finishing up here soon, and Lake Howell and Lake Minneola will be taking place at around 7. Those games taking place at Lake Minneola High School. French sees that one come in the middle for strike 1. And they throw it back to first again. Flagler Palm Coast is headed by Kyle Marsh in his 4th season. Flagler Palm Coast sits in the 7A class as French hits that out to right field for out number 2. This will bring Ellsworth Elston to the plate.
First baseman, Ellsworth Elston.
But Bass committed to Florida A&M University. Him and Marion Clayton are both committed to play in college. Clayton slated to play at Jacksonville University, so congratulations to those two. First pitch by Bass for this at bat falls in for ball 1. That's in for strike 1. This is Flagler Palm Coast's 12th season here at the Classic Tournament. Been coming here since 2014. The 2-1. That is hit into right field for a base hit. Keep the runner at second after he gets there. So Carreras will stay at second. And Elston gets a single. Ace Loftus will step up to the plate with 2 gone and 2 on base. That's down the middle for strike 1. And this is another Pool D matchup. Again, if IMG Silver wins this game, they move to 2-0 in the pool, and that is hit right to the second baseman for out number 3. So IMG able to get 2 hits, but not able to bring anybody in. Flagler Palm Coast due to bat next here on Varsity Sports Nation. Welcome back into Varsity Sports Nation. Here in the bottom of the first, Flagler Palm Coast getting their first at-bats for this evening. Marion Clayton sees that first pitch in for ball one. Clayton committed to Jacksonville University. Both him and this Flagler Palm Coast team combined hitting .500, combined for 24 RBIs in the first 9 games of the season. Clayton included in that mix. He's hitting .375 with a home run and 12 hits. Also has 14 runs scored on the season. That'll drop in for strike one. That'll get hit into right. We'll see if it's got enough distance, and it does! A solo home run for Marion Clayton, his second of the year.
Home run for Marion Clayton.
So first batter for Flagler Palm Coast, Cash into right field. That's where both home runs have been today, has been in right field. This will bring up number 7 for Flagler Palm Coast, Noel Hemmerly. Hemmerly hitting .289 with 11 hits. And he'll see the count even at 1-1. That'll be hit into deep left. It's got a chance, and that one is gone. 2 batters, 2 home runs, and it's 2-0.
Home run for Noel Hemmerly.
So Noel Hemmerly gets his first home run of the year.
At the plate, third baseman Carson.
Clayton has 2 this year, 1 tonight. And IMG will now warm up their bullpen. Joe Wilhelm on the mound for IMG Silver here for game 2. This is his first outing in a IMG Silver uniform. So we had a ball that ended up near the field of play, so they paused the action. The 0-1. Just makes it in the zone for strike 2. That makes it past the pitcher's mound. That'll be thrown to first for out number 1. first baseman, Jordan Gonzalez, comes to the plate with nobody on and one away. But you've got to feel encouraged if you're on staff for Flagler Palm Coast. They scored one total run against Lake Minneola 4 days ago. And they've scored 2 in the first inning here against IMG Silver. That dips in for strike 2. High and inside, ball 1. Outside again, ball 2. The 2-2. Swung on. Gets past the third baseman. The shortstop trying to make a throw for it. But it is not in time. So that'll go down as an error. And this will bring up Paul Bowen to the plate with one away. Bowen hitting 179 this year. 5 hits and 6 RBIs. Just outside for ball 1. It's down the middle, ball 1, throw to second is not in time, or ball 2 is not in time. So 2 balls, no strikes, runner in scoring position here for Flagler Palm Coast. High and outside, ball 3. And outside, ball 4. So put runners at first and second, still with 1 out. For the Bulldogs.
Second baseman, Nick Handy.
This brings in number 1 of Nick Pandick. Down the middle, strike 1. That makes its way into right field, and that'll load the bases. So bases loaded, still 1 out. Second.
Left fielder, Julius Potting.
Second recorded hit. Or excuse me, third recorded hit. for Flagler Palm Coast. That's in for strike one. Julius Payton takes that pitch for ball one. And swing and a miss for strike two. Trying to get all of that one. Just could not make the connection. The 1-2. Swung on, past the pitcher. One run gets home. They'll throw it down to first for out number two. And it's 3-0. It's 3-0 Flagler Palm Coast.
Late shortstop, Kyle Gordon.
So runners on second and third with 2 outs now. Kyle Gordon, the shortstop, batting for the Bulldogs. In the dirt, ball one. That gets back to the pitcher, and he'll toss it over to first base, and that will end the inning. Flagler Palm Coast scores 3. Had back-to-back home runs to start the bottom of the inning. We'll head to the top of the second. It's IMG down by 3 here on Varsity Sports Nation. Welcome back to Varsity Sports Nation. Top of the second here between FPC and IMG. Leading us off for IMG is Rise Rosh. Wind is starting to kick up back towards right field. Also, the sun is very much in the eyes of the right fielders, at least momentarily, until the sun goes down. Two-oh pitch. That is fouled off. Saw a bunch of foul balls earlier in the day, going every which direction. And swing and a miss for strike two. Got another score update from around the league, or from around the tournament, I should say. The Pines Charter and Lake Howell game has gone final, but first that is sent into center field for a base hit for Rosh.
At the plate now, the center fielder, Jake Wright.
And Jake Reich will come up to the plate, but as I was mentioning, Pines Charter scored 6 runs in the 5th inning. They were down 5-1 entering the 5th and took that game 7-5. Lake Howell and Lake Mineola getting started momentarily. That pitch is fouled off for strike one. But this IMG Silver and Flagler Palm Coast and Lake Howell and Lake Mineola are the only 2 games going on right now. They're the final 2 games of the day.
If the gate has died down, you can go ahead and set an eye at home.
That's down the middle for strike 2.
Sorry, what was that again?
That gets hit up into the air, down to foul territory. And we'll keep the count at no balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout tossed by Reggie Bass.
Now batting the left fielder, Garrett Cruz.
This will bring up the left fielder, Garrett Cruz, in his first at bat. Cruz hit the first home run of the week against Seminole. He had a 3-run homer in that 17-1 victory. Got a man on first and 1 out. Inside, strike 2. And swing and a miss, but that will get run out, so that'll be a drop third strike.
First base was occupied. Batter's out.
So the batter will be out
Plate, second baseman Alex Feldman.
because the first base was occupied. So back-to-back strikeouts tossed by Bass. As this brings up Alex Feldman with a man on second and 2 outs. That'll be fouled off for strike 1. Flagler Palm Coast in their white uniforms with green lettering. IMG sticking with their black uniforms, black jerseys, and gray pants. And pitch down the middle for strike 2. High and outside, ball 1. Swung on down the third baseline. It stays fair, barely, but that is tossed over to first for out number 3. And this game stays 3-0. IMG records one more hit, but the farthest they get is second base. Flagler Palm Coast, due up next here on Varsity Sports Nation. Welcome back to FloridaLeagueTournaments.com on Varsity Sports Nation. Leading off for this bottom of the second for Flagler Palm Coast, Clayton Lamb is the 9th batter on the lineup card for the Bulldogs. Pitch is high and inside for ball 1. Joe Wilhelm still on the mound for IMG Silver. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Lamb comes in with one recorded hit. He is a freshman. This is his 28th plate appearance. He'll see that come in for 2 balls, 1 strike. That is tipped foul. Strike 2. Swung on, gets past the pitcher, collected by the second baseman, and that is out number 1.
At play now, the center fielder, number 23, Marion Clayton.
It's a good defense there. Alex Feldman able to toss it over to Ellsworth Elston. And we return to the top of the order. Marion Clayton already has a solo shot to right field. Can he do it again? He wanted it, but that is fouled off. Picked up his second home run of the season earlier in that first inning. It's outside, ball 1. Outside again, ball 2. Wilhelm trying to pitch away from Clayton. And that is fouled off, making it 2-2. Swung on and fouled off. That one caught no netting. Wouldn't be surprised if that went in the street. But luckily there is a fence that separates the street and the parking lot. That one's low and inside, ball 3. That is swung into left field and will drop for a base hit. So Clayton will add to his resume today with a home run and a single. And this will bring in number 7 of Noel Hemmerly. And he also has a solo home run to left. See what he can do here. Check the runner at first. He is safe. That is swung on into left, but it is fouled. Got a nice arc on it. Check the runner again. Still safe. The 0-1. That drops in for ball 1. Runner sneaks down to second for the stolen base. So Clayton now enters scoring position for the Bulldogs. Swing and a miss, strike two. The 1-2. Connection is made, but foul. So we'll have a mound visit by the catcher.
Great job, IMG.
The 1-2. Swung on. Connection is made. Runner gets down to third. And Hemmerly out at first. But that gets Clayton down to third.
At the plate, the third baseman, Carson Flitz.
And this will bring up Carson Fliss for his second plate appearance. 0 for 1 with a ground out. Sees that one in for ball one. Wind is now blowing towards home plate now. And been blowing towards right field most of the day. High and inside, ball two. Down the middle, strike one. That is fouled off for strike two. Joe Wilhelm trying to prevent any more runs from coming in for FPC. Fouled off again. Stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Down the middle, but too high. Ball 3. And that's low for ball 4. Put the runners at the corners for the Bulldogs. And this will bring to the plate Jordan Gonzalez for the second time today. Gonzalez hitting .250, 9 hits on the season. Flagler Palm Coast with 3 runs off 4 hits early in this ball game. And they're going to catch the runner in a rundown between first and second. And that'll get a run home, I believe. Yes, it will. So Clayton able to get home from third, and it's 4-0 Bulldogs. How about that? Carson Flitz able to stay out of harm's way long enough and is able to take his base on the steal back down at second. Swing and a miss for Gonzalez. One sneaks inside, but missed the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here for Gonzalez. Get man on second, 2 outs. Bulldogs have scored a run this inning, making it 4-0. Swung on into left. Does it have the distance? Is it going to stay fair? No, just missed it. It had the angle, but could not stay on the right side of that left field line. But these Flagler Palm Coast guys have strong bats today. And if you hadn't seen game 3 today, IMG won that one 17-1. And it's 4-0 Flagler Palm Coast. That is fouled off to keep it at 2-2. But baseball's funny that way. I mean, you could have a game where you win 15-5, and then your next game you could win 2-1, or be on the losing side of 2-1. It really depends on how hot your bats are and how good your pitching is. It's that simple. And that makes it a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4. So runners on first and second, 2 outs. And Paul Bowen will come to the plate. Second plate appearance. Looks like we might have a pitching change. We'll take a quick break here on Varsity Sports Nation. Welcome back into Varsity Sports Nation. Just a mound visit here for IMG Gray, or IMG Silver, wrong IMG team. There's so many of them. And after the mound visit, thrown strike there by Joe Wilhelm. IMG is warming up a pitcher right now in the bullpen. See if they go to him in the third. Count is now 1 ball, 1 strike. That is hit shallow and right to the shortstop. And that will end the inning. Bulldogs get one more. They lead 4-0 off 4 hits. IMG trying to cut into the lead. We'll see you at the top of the third here on Varsity Sports Nation. Coming up next. It's the top of the third inning here between Flagler Palm Coast and IMG Silver. And that dance is fair. And the throw to first is in time. So first pitch, ground out there for Kai Carreras.
Now batting the catcher, Will Seiblock.
So this brings Will Seiblock to bat for the second time here in Game 2 for IMG, Game 4 on the day here at Sanford Memorial Stadium. Swing and a miss for strike 1. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Inside, ball 1. Make that 2 balls, 1 strike. Swung on, I believe that was tipped foul. If not, it's still going to go down as a strike anyway, since Seiblock swung. Evens it at 2-2. High and outside, ball 3. Outside, ball 4. So Zyblock will reach base. And this will bring up French.
Designated hitter is on French.
So 1 on and 1 out here for the Ascenders. High and outside, ball 1. The 1-0. Inside, ball 2. And as a reminder, after this game's over, you don't have to stop watching baseball. World Baseball Classic takes place tonight at 8 on Fox. USA and Venezuela will be squaring off. The 2-0. It's fouled off for strike 1. That is swung on right down to first base. Throw to second for 1. Back to first for another. And that's a double play. That is how the top of the 3rd ends. Flagler Palm Coast keeps their 4-0 lead. And they got the offensive momentum. We'll see if they add more. Bottom of the 3rd coming up here on Varsity Sports Nation. Welcome back to the third inning here on Varsity Sports Nation. 4-0, Flagler Palm Coast. Nick Pandick to lead us off. New pitcher for IMG. Chino Santana. So I'm used mostly as a batter in their first game against Seminole. Santana, 2.10 ERA this year. This is just his second appearance as a pitcher for IMG Silver. Dangerous pitch there as that got close to the head of Pandick. The 3-0. High pitch again. That'll start the inning off with a walk.
Stepping to the plate, the left fielder, Julius Podden.
So Julius Podden. Will get his second plate appearance. Wind changing directions again, now blowing mostly towards third base now. Patton showing bunt. He'll bunt it straight up into the air. And it'll drop in foul territory for strike one. Again, some words of wisdom being shared between coach and player for the Bulldogs. Check the runner down at first. That one was close. But Pandick, is safe. That's high and inside, ball one. That was outside, but just made it in the strike zone. 1-2. And that's the end of the at-bat. Strikeout looking. And that'll be one away. So Kyle Gordon steps up, but before that, check down to first. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. High and outside, ball one. Just made it in the zone for strike one. The 1-1 swung on into shallow right, and it's caught for out number 2. Play is made there by Ace Loftus. Pandick forced to run back to first.
Catcher Clayton Lamb.
And that'll bring Clayton Lamb to the plate with 1 on and 2 away. High and inside, but sneaks in the zone for strike 1. And the throw down to second is not in time. IMG thought they picked off the runner. So the count is 0-2. So 0-2 remains the count as that one was fouled off. And that one gets away for ball 1. And Pandick is now at third. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is how the third inning ends. Flagler Palm Coast gets a man all the way to third, but can't get him home. We stay at 4-0. New inning, 4th inning, coming your way here on Varsity Sports Nation. Welcome back to FloridaLeagueTournaments.com here on Varsity Sports Nation. We're in the top of the fourth, 4-0 Bulldogs over the Ascenders. Reggie Bass still on the mound for FPC. Throwing back-to-back strikes here against Ellsworth Elston. And this is the final game of the day here at Sanford Memorial Stadium. That's fouled off. Seen a 10-1 game, a 4-3 game, a 17-1 game, and now a 4-0 game. The 4-3 game was 3-0 until the bottom of the fifth inning. Game-winning run was scored in the bottom of the seventh as that gets hit down the third base line. Throw to first is in time. Jordan Gonzalez had to reach out and keep himself off the runner. So able to do that for out number one here in the top of the fourth. Ace Loftus, the lefty, sees that down the middle for strike one. And the batters from here on out will have to go against the wind, at least until it dies down, if it does. And that'll be sent into shallow. No, it's not. It's going to be picked up, thrown down to first. Oh, but they cannot make the play. Wow. Still going to go down as a hit for IMG, but man. That would have been the play of the day, in my opinion. Cal Gordon basically flying over to keep that from going into shallow center and was off balance trying to chuck it down to first. It was going to be close anyway, but just could not make the catch down at first base. As Reese Rosh will have a man on and one out. Swing and a miss, strike two. Rosh had a single in his last at bat. High and outside for ball two. Sun is set here in Sanford. See some of the sunset. That is hit into shallow center and caught for out number two. Flagler Palm Coast is in white, so when the hat came off of Clayton out in center, I thought the ball was dropped. But good athletic play there to chase that down for the second out of the inning. Jake Reich with a man on and two away. That's high for ball one. Outside, strike one. This time inside, strike two. So 1-2 here for Reich. Drop third, no, that's going to be an out because there was a runner already at first, and that will end the top of the fourth. IMG gets another hit, but just cannot find home plate, at least not yet. Flagler Palm Coast batting next here on Varsity Sports Nation. Welcome back to Varsity Sports Nation, bottom of the fourth here between IMG and FPC. We'll start with the top of the order once more. Marion Clayton, 2 for 2 on the day with a home run, solo shot home run to right field. That is hit high into the air, but this is going to fall foul. I don't even know where it went, but I think it left the park. Looks like it was trying to go over to the playground at the school that's across the way. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Swung on again, collected by the shortstop. Ropes it over to first, and 1 away for the Bulldogs.
Now batting the right fielder, Noel Hemmerly.
So Noel Hemmerly was 1 for 2. Again, he had a solo home run to left field back in the first inning. That's what really set the tone for Flagler Palm Coast in this game. First 2 batters were solo home runs. And both these teams each have 4 hits. But the difference is Bulldogs have 4 runs, IMG has 0. And that gets away from the catcher for ball 2. Good hustle there from Carson Fliss as he goes flying over from his on-deck spot to collect the runaway ball. That was high and inside, ball 3. Keep your head on a swivel out there. And they are going to award the base. It sounded like from here it might have gone off the bat. But it might have also been the same sound as the elbow guard on his left arm. So that'll be a hit by pitch. And that'll put Hemmerly at first. And Fliss get his 3rd plate appearance today. Santana checking the runner at first. A lot of runner checks at first base in this game between both teams. Another check over to first. One ball, no strikes. And they're going to throw it down to second. And it gets past the sender defense. So it keeps the runner at first base, which kind of was a break for IMG. That is swung on and fouled. And they check the runner again. The 2-1. Swung on and foul tipped for strike 2. The 2-2. Outside, ball 3. And that gets away. The runner will go down to second. Thought about going to third. But that's where he'll stay. So Hemmerly at second.
Like the first baseman, Jordan Gonzalez.
Fliss will take the walk down to first. And we're going to have a mound visit here from Coach Mark Morawski. We'll take a quick break here on Varsity Sports Nation. Welcome back to Varsity Sports Nation here in the bottom of the fourth. Runners on first and second, one out. And a pitching change for IMG. Brett Jordan is now on the mound for the Ascenders. His first batter he'll face is Jordan Gonzalez. Bulldogs lead 4-0. And they had 2 solo home runs to start the game. And time is called by the batter. The 1-0. Outside, ball 2. This time down the middle for strike 1. Brett Jordan, 6th appearance of the year, 0-1 as a starter. Getting some time here in the Florida League High School Invitational. Check down to first is, runner is safe. The 2-1. Outside, ball 3. The 3-1. Inside, ball 4. That'll load the bases here for the Bulldogs. So Paul Bowen comes to the plate. That is fouled off for strike 1. And bases loaded here for Flagler Palm Coast. Trying to add to their 4-0 lead. And that hits the batter. So Bowen goes down to first. 1 run will come home from third. And it's 5-0.
Now batting the second baseman, Nick Pandick.
That was Noel Hemmerly coming home from third. And Nick Pandick to bat for the Bulldogs. Base is still loaded, and time is called. That is framed in the zone for strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And IMG trying to limit the amount of runs that come home for the Bulldogs. And that is a strikeout. And Julius Potted will come to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs here for the Bulldogs. That was the 3rd strikeout, I believe. It was, yes, thrown by IMG pitchers. And that's safe. They did not tap the bag in time, so that's an RBI single. 6-0, Bulldogs. So that'll bring up Kyle Gordon. Still bases loaded, 2 out. Outside, ball 1. The 1-0. Down the middle, strike 1. Swung on to the shortstop. Throw to first, and that one is in time. FPC records 2 more runs. They lead 6-0 off 5 hits. IMG will be up to bat next, top 5, when we return. We've entered the 5th inning here between IMG Silver and Flagler Palm Coast. Bulldogs got 2 more runs, bottom of last inning. still on the mound for the Flagler Palm Coast is Reggie Bass. Entered this inning with, I believe, 56 pitches recorded. And sends the leadoff batter into an 0-2 hole. Garrett Cruz. Just his second plate appearance tonight for game 2. That's clipped foul. The 0-2 gets away for ball 1. And the first base umpire coming in to inspect the ball. Since it hit the backstop wall. And that, no, they're going to say is foul. I believe it's because the ball went straight down into the bag. So it remains 1 ball, 2 strikes here for Cruz. High and outside, ball 2. And high and inside, ball 3. Cruz had to duck out of the way as the ball was going to his shoulder/head area. And fouled off again. Trickles over to the FPC dugout. And ring him up and struck him out. Fifth strikeout tossed by Bass. This brings up Alex Feldman. With 1 away. Ball 1. Down the middle again. This time, strike 1. Feldman 0 for 1 with a ground out. This time it'll split. It's stopped momentarily by the shortstop. So it prevents it from going into left. That'll go down as a base hit. So 5th hit of the night for IMG, and we'll go back to the top of the order. Kai Carreras, 1 for 2 with a single. As the double play opportunity is alive for Flagler Palm Coast. High and inside, ball 1. That time down the middle for strike one. I'll check the runner back at first. We haven't seen a lot of runner checking in this game, most of any of the first three combined. That is fouled off for strike two. That's outside for ball two. Tipped again. That rolls back. Keeps the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And low and outside. Ball 3. Full count. Here for Feldman. Or not Feldman, excuse me. Carreras. Feldman's on first. Swing, drop, third strike, but because there was a runner at first, automatic strikeout. So 2 away.
At the plate, the catcher, Will Zyblock.
So they'll bring the catcher to the plate, Will Zyblock, with a man on and 2 away. Down the middle, strike 1. Mass has already collected 5 strikeouts tonight. Went outside the zone for ball 1. High in the middle, ball 2. And that one gets away from the catcher. Count is now 3 balls, 1 strike. That allows Feldman to get down to second. 3 balls, 1 strike. And that was just outside ball 4. So that'll put runners on first and second for IMG. As Zon French will step to the plate with 2 on and 2 out. So Zon French, 0 for 2 on the night. Had a fly out and hit into a double play in his last at bat. That one is fouled off the tip of the bat for strike 1. And just made it in the zone for strike 2. French in an 0-2 hole here. See if Bass throws him the same pitch or decides to try and bait French to swing at it. Swing and a miss. 6th strikeout tossed by Bass. And that will end the top of the 5th. We still sit at 6-0 here. Bulldogs lead the Ascenders. We'll be right back here on Varsity Sports Nation. So bottom of the 5th here between Flagler Palm Coast and IMG Silver. Clayton Lamb to lead off the Bulldogs. Bulldogs lead 6-0. Started the scoring in the first inning with their first two batters hitting solo home runs. Scored 3 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the fourth. First two pitches are 2 strikes. The 0-2. They say he got it, and he is down. Strikeout, swinging.
At the plate, the center fielder, Marion Clayton.
So Marion Clayton with 1 away. Takes the first pitch, ball 1. Outside, ball 2. And ever since that first, after that first at bat where he hit that solo home run to right, they've done a decent job of pitching away from Clayton. That skips over the top of the pitcher, throw down to first, gets away. Clayton will round the left side to try to get to second, and he'll be safe. As this brings in Noel Hemmerly. So that'll go down as a throwing error for IMG Silver. It's 2 errors for IMG in this game. They had 1 total last game against the Seminoles. So that's a swing and a miss there for Hemmerly. Swung on up to the shortstop. He'll look both ways and throw it to first for out number 2, excuse me.
At the plate, third baseman, Carson Fliss.
So for the 4th time today, we'll see Carson Fliss. Watch that one go in for strike 1. 0 for 1 with a ground out. He's walked twice. Went in the middle, but high for ball 1. Runner will go down to third. It bounces off the pitching mound. But the second baseman, Feldman, able to collect it, throw it to first, and that is how the inning will end. No runs allowed in for the IMG defense. We'll head to the 6th inning. Still 6-0. Bulldogs over the Ascenders. Sixth inning action here on Varsity Sports Nation in Game 4 of 4 of Day 2 of the Florida League High School Invitational Classic Tournament here in Sanford, Florida. As Ellsworth Elston leads us off. IMG has trailed the entirety of this game after beating Seminole 17-1. That game was run ruled after 4 innings as it hit the 15 after 4 rule. The 0-2. Low and inside for ball 1. Outside, ball 2. Both teams have 10 combined runs, or 10 combined hits, rather. Difference is Bulldogs lead 6-0. That was down the middle, but outside the zone for ball 3. And that was outside for ball 4. So Ellsworth will take his base.
At the plate, right fielder, Ace Loftus.
And this brings to the plate number 13, Ace Loftus, for the 3rd time this evening. And that gets hit high into left and is caught for out number 1.
At the plate, the third baseman, Reese Rosh.
So Reese Rosh will step up with 1 on and 1 out here for the Ascenders. That is up to the shortstop at second for 1, over to first, and he's out. Kept the foot on the bag long enough. And that is how the top of the 6th ends in a double play. We'll step aside. Bottom 6th coming up. FPC leads 6-0. Welcome back to Varsity Sports Nation. Bottom of the 6th here between Flagler, Palm Coast, and IMG. Silver. Still on the mound for the Ascenders, Brett Jordan. First pitch drops in for ball one. That'll trickle up and bounces off the shortstop. And Gonzalez will reach first base safely.
At plate, designated hitter, Paul Bowen.
So that'll bring to the plate Paul Bowen with a man on and nobody out. Outside, ball one. And swing and a miss for strike one. And the pitcher steps off the mound for time. And that is hit high into shallow right for out number one.
At the plate, second baseman Nick Pandick.
So that'll bring Nick Pandick to the plate with a man on and one out. And if you're IMG, you've got the double play is available. And that gets away from the first baseman. Runner will try to sneak down to second, and he will get there safely. Third error of the game for IMG. Two of them have been throwing errors. So Pandick has a man on second. Outside, ball one. That is bunted. They'll throw it to first, or no, they won't throw it. So that puts runners at the corners for FPC.
At the plate.
So we got a pinch hitter for the Bulldogs. This will be number 12 of Kyron Pinnock.
Pitch hitting for Flagler Broncos, number 12, Kyron Pinnick.
So Pinnock will have two men on and one out. This will be Pinnock's first at bat for the varsity squad this season. And he'll get the out, but allow a runner to come home. 7-0 FPC.
At the plate now, shortstop Kyle Gordon.
As Jordan Gonzalez was able to get home safely. So runner on second with two outs. Outside, ball one. Al Gordon, 0 for 3. A couple ground outs this evening. That is grounded past the pitcher, collected by the shortstop. Throw to first in time. We will head to the top of the 7th. IMG's got some work to do to continue this game. We'll bring you the action here. FloridaLeagueTournaments.com on Varsity Sports Nation. Coming to you in just a moment. Now batting for the Ascenders here in the top of the 7th. Number 2 of Jake Reich. New pitcher in for the Bulldogs, number 2 of Brody Youngman. Coming in 1.4 ERA in his 4th appearance on the season. Short pitch back to Youngman. He'll chuck it to first. Out number 1. IMG needs at least 7 runs to continue this game. If they cannot, then Flagler Palm Coast takes the win. We'll go through all the potential scenarios at the conclusion of this game, so that way you kind of know what's going on by tomorrow's action. Garrett Cruz takes that first pitch for ball 1. In this Flagler Palm Coast squad, last played against Lake Minneola, lost 2-1. And they've scored 7 here in this game. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Count is now 2 balls, 1 strike. And Bulldogs trying to get back to their winning ways. Started the season 5-0. Gone 2-5 out of their last 7. Three balls, 1 strike. That is hit into center and caught for out number 2. IMG down to their last out. Alex Feldman. And IMG, if this score stands, will be 1-1 in pool play. Flagler Palm Coast will be 1-0. We'll let you know the scenarios as soon as this third out is recorded. And that clips off of the second baseman, trying to get up quickly to throw it back, but could not. Go down as a base hit for IMG.
Now batting number 10, Kai Carrera.
Head back to the top of the order. Kai Carreras with a man on and 2 out. That's in for strike 1. This is swung on, fouled off. Making the count 0-2. And time is called by Carreras. Outside, ball 1. Feldman sneaks his way down to second base. That is hit down to the third baseman, bobbles it momentarily, missed the runner to third, but he throws it to first for out number 3. And Flagler Palm Coast takes the game. Final score, Bulldogs 7, Ascenders nothing. So Flagler Palm Coast and St. Cloud each have 1 win in Pool D. So the game tomorrow at 4 o'clock between Flagler Palm Coast and St. Cloud will determine who takes the pool. So that's what's on the line is Pool D. St. Cloud, again, will be coming in 13-0 as they took down Seminole 7-2 yesterday. So Flagler Palm Coast moves to 8-5. They'll be playing tomorrow at 4. IMG Silver moves to 1-1. And they will take on... IMG Silver actually will be off tomorrow, so they will not play again until Thursday. But that will do it. We will be here tomorrow. Early start. 8:30 in the morning is the first game of 5 here at Sanford Memorial Stadium. Deltona and Eustis will get things started. Lake Mineola, Pines Charter at 11. Dr. Phillips and Western at 1:30. Flagler Palm Coast and St. Cloud at 4. And Apopka and Lyman at 6:30. It's been a fun one. Second day here for the 2026 Florida League High School Invitational here in Sanford, Florida. My name is Conrad Volch. It's been great being with you. We'll see you tomorrow, 8:30 first pitch here on Varsity Sports Nation. Have a good night, everybody.